Welcome back to the Female Sports Nutrition Podcast, where we tackle the real challenges female athletes face beyond the field or the gym. Today, I'm talking all about meal prepping. And did you know that nearly 70% of female athletes struggle to maintain a consistent, healthy meal prep routine? And a shocking 85% report feeling overwhelmed by the time commitment it seems to require? If you're nodding along, you're definitely in the right place. I understand the juggling act between training, life, and trying to eat right. So today we're diving headfirst into simplifying meal prep, and I'm going to share 3 easy game-changing recipes that will revolutionize how you approach your nutrition without sacrificing your precious time. Get ready to ditch the takeout menus and embrace a prep strategy that is as powerful as you are. So let's dive in. Tired of feeling exhausted after training? Confused about how to fuel your body without all the food rules? Welcome to Female Sports Nutrition, where I'll help you fuel strong, build muscle, and perform your best, all while breaking free from diet culture. I'm Kristen, a sports dietitian, trainer, and Jesus lover, and I'm here to help you fuel with freedom. Lace up your shoes, grab that smoothie, and let's jump in. Are you tired of calorie counting and endless tracking? Join the Female Sports Nutrition Facebook group. Connect with like-minded female athletes focused on getting stronger, fitter, and faster the healthy way. We ditch the restrictive diets and embrace sustainable nutrition that fuels your performance and your life. Join our supportive community and receive a free gift for becoming a member. Level up your training and your nutrition without sacrificing your sanity. So today I have 3 recipes that you can easily meal prep for your entire week, or you could just batch cook it and use it every now and again if you want to do it that way. I personally use these recipes and they are so easy, they're delicious, and they are recipes that the whole family enjoys. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I have a meal prep recipe for each meal: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So we're going to start off with breakfast, and this is just simply a breakfast casserole. This is a meal in one, which I love. I love doing one pan dishes or one pot dishes so that you don't have to make a million dishes and then make your kitchen all messy, and that's just eating into your time even more beyond cooking. I actually meal prepped a lot of things this Sunday while I was cooking for a bunch of friends coming over on Sunday. So while I was cooking for friends coming over, I was prepping some of these things like this breakfast casserole among some other things for the week. And you know what's so great about it is my kitchen stays so much cleaner if I meal prep versus if I try to cook dinner every single night. So last night I actually did cook dinner and my kitchen is now a mess as a result. So I think this will save you a lot of time and headache with cleaning, but then also you won't have to think about, well, where is my next meal coming from? I'm starving. What am I going to eat? So now I'm just going to pull something out of the refrigerator or the pantry, or I'm going to call Uber Eats or whatever and get whatever I can get. So breakfast casserole, let's dive into it. What you need to do is get probably like a 9x13 casserole dish. And you're just going to put, a little bit of olive oil or butter or whatever down to the bottom just so things aren't going to stick, and preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Next, what I do is I get a bag of shredded hash brown potatoes from the grocery store. So it's a frozen bag. You don't need to thaw this out, but all you're going to do is just make sure that you break up any clumps. You're going to pour it at the bottom of your casserole dish. So it's kind of like a base layer of shredded potatoes. You could buy sweet potatoes or regular potatoes is fine too. And then you're going to take whatever vegetables that you have on hand, chop them up and throw them in here. So some ideas are peppers, onions, mushrooms, tomatoes. I've done squash. I've done broccoli. Whatever you have, it does not matter. You just chop it up and put it in there. And if you don't want to do the chopping, you can buy vegetables that are already pre-chopped for you from the grocery store. So you can buy things that are fresh chopped, or you could buy the bags of frozen vegetables. So there's a bag of frozen stir-fry mix vegetables. So that's usually peppers, onions, and mushrooms. And they're already pre-chopped for you in a nice freezer bag. Like I said, you just dump it in there. You don't have to thaw it out, and that counts as your vegetables. So super easy. Next up, you're going to take 2 to 3 eggs per serving that you want to get out of this dish. So typically I make enough for 8 servings, and my husband and I actually split this. So it's enough for 4 days out of the week. And then there's just one other meal that I, make for another breakfast in there, but you can do it however you want to do it. So what I would do if I was going to make enough for 8 servings out of the week is then I would multiply that by 2. So I'm putting in 16 eggs for that entire dish. And so I actually blend up my eggs with cottage cheese. So it's enough cottage cheese for a quarter cup of cottage cheese per 2 eggs or 3 eggs if you're going to do 3 eggs. So you can measure that out. If you're not into measuring and you just want to dump a bunch of cottage cheese in there, that's totally fine. I actually really like Good Culture brand cottage cheese. If you haven't had that, it is delicious. I think cottage cheese has gotten such a bad rap over the years as far as like, ew, gross, curdled cheese. But the Good Culture brand of cottage cheese, it is just perfection. It is so good. If you have not tried it, I would highly suggest trying it. And it really works very well with eggs. I blend it up so that it's nice and creamy and you don't get any lumps in there. So you're just going to pour your eggs after you blend it all up over the vegetables and the potatoes. And then I like to take like diced ham, or if I have maybe some bacon, or if I have, some like chicken sausage or something like that laying around, I will put that into the eggs as well. And then I'll just put some shredded cheese on top, and that's it. And I'll bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes or until the eggs are set. So I just take the whole pan out of the oven, I let it cool, and then I slice it into my servings. And I put that whole pan in the refrigerator. I don't even put it in little containers, because all I'm going to do in the morning is just take out one serving, pop it in the microwave for maybe a minute, and that's it. That's my whole breakfast. It's one complete meal. It's super easy. It's super tasty. Don't forget to put some salt, pepper, and some spices in there if you want that. Garlic powder, onion powder, that type of thing makes it even better. And sometimes I put hot sauce on it. Sometimes I put salsa on it. Whatever you want to do, but it's super easy. Like I said, it's one complete meal. All you have to do is just put it right into the microwave and eat it, and you're done. All right, next up is shredded chicken. So this is kind of a lunch/dinner deal. I really like this because it is so simple. So shredded chicken, let me tell you the many, many uses that you can use shredded chicken on. So baked potatoes, you could do like a stuffed baked potato bar with some cheese and some broccoli. So good. You could put it on salads. You can make a sandwich out of it. You can mix it with some barbecue sauce and make like a barbecue chicken sandwich. You could put it over pasta. You can put some on pizza. You could buy like a frozen pizza and just, sprinkle some of the shredded chicken on top to up the protein content. You can also make tacos and burritos. And this is another meal prep idea where you can make like chicken enchiladas and roll them up in the tortillas and bake them. You can actually put that in the freezer and you can have that for another meal later on. So many uses for shredded chicken. Sometimes we just eat shredded chicken with, rice and a vegetable or whatever. So shredded chicken is going to be very easy to make. All you need to do is get 3 chicken breasts, or here's a little pro tip. If you do more than 3 chicken breasts, like maybe 6 or maybe even more than that, you just double, triple the recipe. And now you have a ton of shredded chicken that you can put in the freezer and pull it out later, which saves you at another point in time. So basic recipe is 3 chicken breasts, salt and pepper, however much you want in there, and then 1 cup of broth, or I use bone broth. I make my own, and I can link the recipe below for you on that. But whatever broth you have is totally fine. 1 cup of broth, and you can do this one of 3 ways. You can make it in a Dutch oven, in your oven, or in a crock pot, or in an Instant Pot. So I'm going to tell you the different ways that you could do this. So if you have a Dutch oven, which is basically like a baker with a lid on it, you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, put all the ingredients in the Dutch oven, and then you are going to just bake for 45 minutes and then shred it when you're done. That's it. So simple. If you're going to use a slow cooker, same thing. Put all the ingredients in the slow cooker, turn on high for 4 hours or low for 8 hours, and shred it when it's done. If you're going to use an Instant Pot, you're going to put all the ingredients in the Instant Pot, turn to high for 10 minutes, do a natural release for 5 minutes, and then shred it. That is it. It's so simple. You can get fancy with this if you want, and you could do a jar of salsa instead of just the chicken broth, or salsa verde. Lots of variations that you can do here, and you can really mix up the spices that you're putting in there. Like I said, it's super simple, very versatile, and you can make a lot of different things out of this. And I think it's something that really everybody's going to enjoy. Who doesn't like shredded chicken? Great way to increase your protein content on basically any meal. Next up, so this would be, again, another lunch/dinner meal here, is sheet pan chicken sausage with vegetables and potatoes. So what you're going to do here is you're going to get a sheet pan. I always line it with either parchment paper or foil because I don't want to scrub a pan. I don't know about you, but I don't have time for that. There's other things that I need to do. So I save myself the cleanup, and I put down either parchment paper or foil so I can just take that and throw it in the trash when I'm done. So if you're going to use parchment paper, you don't really need to put any type of like additional nonstick spray or oil down. If you use foil, you definitely do. So keep that in mind on, if that's going to influence your choice. But what I get is some chicken sausage. I'll either buy, a bunch of it from Costco, or I'll do like the Alfresco brand. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just slicing up the chicken sausage. Sometimes I leave them whole. Quite frankly, leaving them whole is just way easier than slicing up all these chicken sausages. Throw the chicken sausages on the pan. Take whatever vegetables that you have. Again, you can use frozen vegetables. If you don't have fresh and you don't want to deal with chopping fresh, that's completely fine. So let's just say you're going to get a bag of frozen broccoli. Totally fine. Put that on there, and then you're going to get some potatoes. Whatever potatoes that you like is fine. I personally like those red potatoes because they're more waxy. They're not like the russet potatoes that are really starchy. Not really my deal. So I do at least one potato per person or per serving. And so I chop them up. So, kind of cut the potato in half, flip it on its side, cut it in half again, and just kind of go down the length of the potato. If you have one of those vegetable choppers, if you've ever listened to any of my other podcasts, I talk about this vegetable chopper that I bought off of Amazon, which saves so much time. I'll link it below for you. All you have to do is put the potato in the vegetable chopper, slam it down, and congratulations, now you have chopped potatoes. So you don't have to stand there and chop them. That saves you a ton of time also. So you're going to throw everything on a baking sheet, drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. You probably only need maybe a tablespoon or two. And then I just take whatever spices that I like, garlic powder, onion powder. I'll do some basil, oregano, salt, pepper, and I just put it on there. Honestly, don't measure them. I just kind of sprinkle a little bit all over. That's enough for me. And then I just toss it all together, stick it in the oven at 400 degrees, and it's going to take probably 20 to 30 minutes. You'll just want to check on it and see if the potatoes are cooked through, and same thing with the sausage, if they look like they, are kind of like brown and crispy on the outside. So all the vegetables, all the potatoes should look slightly brown and crispy on the outside. And it's so good, so delicious. And this is something that you can easily make a ton of. Like sometimes I'll do actually 2 sheet pans in the oven so then I have multiple meals that I can get out of this. You can honestly get enough meals for the entire week if you were to do 2 sheet pans, especially if you're making this for multiple people. So these are my 3 recipes to get you started for meal prepping. They contain everything that you need, except for the shredded chicken is not everything that you need in there, but you're just going to use the shredded chicken on some other things. Like I said, the baked potato or a sandwich or pasta or whatever. If you want to save yourself a step, go ahead and bake some potatoes while you're making your shredded chicken, or cook up some pasta, that type of thing. Stock up on, just some frozen cheese pizzas that you can easily put this chicken on. That is something that is totally fine. And you might be thinking, what? Pizza? I can have pizza? Yeah, absolutely. You could have pizza. We just want to mix up our foods here and there. So these meals are all complete meals. You have everything that you need in there, and it is going to save you so much time, so much energy, and it'll also save your kitchen, which would be really nice. And like I said, you can make a lot of these foods so that you can throw some in your freezer, and then you don't have to worry about it later on. If you enjoyed these recipes, please leave me a comment below or a review rather in Apple Podcasts and tell me about it. Let me know how you like the recipes. And while you're at it, join the Female Sports Nutrition Facebook group and let us know how you liked it in there as well. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you, encouraged you, or changed you, I would love for you to leave me a review and share it with a girlfriend who will find it helpful or inspiring. That is the best way you can thank me and help me share my knowledge so I can help more people just like you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today, and I'd love to connect with you. Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, or send me a DM on Instagram, or hop on over to my website, elitenutritionperformance.com. I'll see you back here next week.